We have Amanda Whites here with us. She's the event lead for this year's Relay for Life of Franklin County. Thanks for being on the show with us. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here.
So the Relay for Life is coming up on September 9th, a month from today. Give us some sort of first details about it.
So Relay for Life is something that's been going on in Franklin County for a really long time. I think a lot of people thought it disappeared with COVID, like so many things, but I'm going to say that this year is a big rebuilding year. We're trying to get more of the community back engaged with us. We're going to be at Capital City Christian Church, and we're going to go from 5 p.m. all the way till 10 p.m.
Nice.
And we have lots of entertainment, a ton of food trucks. We have a lot of events planned, so we're really excited to share it.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that the Relay for Life can be different in different communities, because lots of different communities put this on, and of course it's through the American Cancer Society. Mm-hmm. But I know in Franklin County for years it was always at like a track, right? Where
Oh
you
yeah,
would
yeah.
walk around the track
I was involved when I was out at Franklin County.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see you.
Well, no, it was like 20 years. It was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting that it can mold based on what kind of fits for the community and what makes sense for the year. So this year it's at Capital City Christian Church.
Absolutely. And we do have a track. It's just smaller. We're trying to make it more accessible because, you know, that big track can be a little daunting for anybody, but especially for a survivor or a caregiver.
Absolutely.
Well, and you're dealing with the elements, right, of weather. Right. And I know, and that maybe that goes into the decision making for this, because I seem to remember, and maybe it was just before COVID, 2018-19, that there was, I'm sure they tell stories about it, right?
It is a storied event when there's the big storm that came through and it like blew away tents.
Oh,
it was crazy.
Yep.
I remember.
It was right out front, Franklin County High School.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's a lot of people's last year, because that was a very big.
traumatic.
It was scary. It was super scary.
Yeah, but it's inside now.
It is. We are planning outside.
Okay.
But our rain plan, we can just go in the gym.
There you
Right,
go.
that's what I was
easy.
thinking.
There you
Yeah. Gotcha.
Well, a lot of people around town probably know you from the Kentucky Dance Academy.
That's true.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Relay for Life?
So I grew up, I'm from Lawrence County originally in Eastern Kentucky, and Relay for Life was such a big deal there. It is like every church, every school, everybody does it. So I grew up thinking that was just like what you do. You just go to Relay for Life every year. When we moved to Frankfort, I was training really intensively to be a dancer, but my mom was really involved with Relay for Life, and then the big storm happened and all the trauma. But last year, one of our teachers at Kentucky Dance Academy, Miss Susanna, who's one of our acro instructors, she got diagnosed with breast cancer at 23, which is just so young. She's a trooper. She's doing so well now. So hi, Susanna. We're thinking of you. But our kids were obviously concerned about her, and we were looking for an opportunity to feel like the kids could be involved and feel like they were doing something to fight back.
Oh, that's great.
And so we reached out to Relay for Life. They needed entertainers, and I was like, we've got entertainers. Don't worry about that. So we had 75 kids perform last year. We'll probably have about the same number this year. It's all of our non-ballet classes, since for our ballet classes we have the Nutcracker every December.
Right.
But we also this year have invited a bunch of community partners. We definitely have the majorettes from Franklin County High School coming, and the dance team from Western Hills High School.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
But you guys said you'll have food trucks there.
We
and
do.
Games.
We have games. Games are such a big part of Relay. Usually it goes, well, in the past it's gone 24 hours. So you've got to fill up that time.
Yeah.
So there's lots of silly games. Usually we ask every team to send a representative. If you're just a participant and you want to do it, then you come up and do it. There was one last year where you put whipped cream on your face and they throw cheese puffs. And whoever has the most on their beard,
there you go.
So that one's really fun. I hope we do it again.
Yeah.
But we also have
food
food
trucks.
trucks.
That sounds awesome. I was thinking that too. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
We're in.
It's a snack. It's a game. It's everything. But this year we also have some food trucks already lined up. We have KK's Tropical Paradise, which is like a Kona Ice kind of thing. We have Bluegrass Food Truck and Buddy Loves Food Trailer. And then Investors Heritage is going to do some hot dogs for us as well, which is really fun.
So how do the survivors benefit from Relay for Life?
That is such a good question. So, some of the elements that have to be involved in a Relay for Life, no matter where it is in the world, we celebrate survivors, we celebrate caregivers, there's a luminaria ceremony, and then there's an opportunity for the community to fight back. So, for ours, one of our big events is our survivor dinner. Survivors, along with one caregiver, are invited to come out and they can dine with us. Free of charge. We get to celebrate you. We've sent out some invitations. If you did not get one, then please reach out to us and we'll make sure that you're invited because every survivor should be acknowledged. So we want to provide Sonny's Barbecue to you guys. And then we do a lap for our survivors that want to. They do the first ceremonial lap around the track with their caregiver so we can celebrate them.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What are the sort of general objectives for Relay for Life, kind of at large?
Oh, that's such a good question too. So this is completely run by volunteers. Everybody that works for Relay for Life volunteers their time, and they volunteer their money, and they volunteer their talents to do this. Right now, we've raised $15,895.
Ooh, that's amazing.
Everything we make goes straight to the American Cancer Society. And as we all know, the American Cancer Society is a very big organization. So they provide research, they provide like working with the government for more funding for cancer research. It applies to all forms of cancer since it can affect anybody. But they also provide things like transportation for people in treatment to get to and from their appointments. They provide lodging so they can stay closer to where provides that treatment. They provide support for families, for caregivers. It's a huge network, so all of the money for Relay for Life, we come together as a community, we recognize that there's more people fighting along with us, and then we give all of the money that we can to the American Cancer Society.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
What a great cause.
Well, and I'm sure too for survivors and survivors' families, it's an excellent resource as well. Just the Relay for Life event itself, because you just have that sense of community.
Absolutely,
right?
You want to have that community built in because that's a huge part of healing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do people get involved in that?
There's lots of ways to be involved. If you wanted to form a team, we're still accepting teams. Right now we have 14. The only thing you need to have a team is just you. And then you can set up, you can do games with us, you can participate in all the events. But also it's free to the community. So if you just come out and you buy a tropical paradise and walk around the track and see all of the things that we're doing, that's enough. There's also a raffle going on. If you'd like to honor one of your family members or loved ones, one of the big things is our luminaria ceremony. So that's when we have the little paper bags with at least somebody's name in honor of or in memory of. Some of them are really extravagant and decorated. Some of them are really simple. But when it gets dark, we set them around the track and then we light them up with glow sticks inside, and it's really beautiful. So you can buy those online. You can also buy those on our Facebook page, or you can reach out to any of our team leaders, and we have forms to buy those. Or if you just want to give directly to the American Cancer Society, you can do that on behalf of our relay, and that goes to our total.
Cool.
Gotcha. And so you mentioned the survivors dinner, and you all do want some RSVPs.
Absolutely.
For that, right?
We just want to make sure we have enough food.
So they should probably find your Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Or we've got Kathy Bailey's number there on screen and email address. Yeah. Okay. And then the website, again, relayforlife.org/Franklin County.
Yeah, and it should have all of our information.
That sounds fantastic.
Excellent.
So, we mentioned, we were talking about question of the day, and we were talking about hip hop. And I know since you working with and being a dancer for a very long time, I'm sure you've danced to a lot of hip hop and
I'm obviously very cool. So,
but yeah, in answering our question of the day, do you have anybody that kind of comes to mind?
I narrowed it down.
Okay.
My throwback choice is A Tribe Called Quest.
Perfect.
And then my more contemporary one is Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
I like it. Yeah, I like having a throwback. I'm like formulating mine as well. I like having a throwback choice and a more modern.
It makes it feel a little more,
Yeah,
you
it
can
does.
choose.
Like a large breath. Yeah. Okay, but again, Relay for Life, September 9th.
Mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars. The Survivor Center is at 3, but Racing for a Cure is the theme, and the actual Relay for Life itself starts at 5, and it goes until 10 p.m. It's at the Capital City Christian Church. Amanda, thanks so much for being a guest on the show and for chatting with us today.
Thank you so much. I would love to come back anytime.
Absolutely. That's what we were talking about.
Hey, yeah, come back. You all got the Nutcracker coming up, like you said. So it's always a great annual production that we love to go to. It's a tradition in my family to come see it. So,
Absolutely. So I'll be back to talk about that too.
Okay.
Perfect.